Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome back to Sassy Gal Preppin'. Today it's Friday night, and I'm normally not on a live stream, but I made a special consideration for the digital prepper who is with me tonight. And yes, there's nothing wrong with your screen. That's his little logo right there.
Hello, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited for tonight because I like talking about digital things, although I'm not a techie person. I do appreciate it and appreciate how it makes my life easier sometimes. Um, but anyway, yes, thank you for being here. I'm so happy that we are able to connect and do this. And so we're going to talk about learning about digital prepping, and I'm gonna just we'll just kind of do a little bit of chit chat here, and then I'll come on and say hello to people in the chat. So digital prepper, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then a little bit about what is digital prepping. Like what is that all about? How did you get into that?
Okay. Um. So I see a whole bunch of uh familiar faces in the chat.
Yay!
But for people who have not heard of my channel before, uh, I'm the digital prepper. I actually got into prepping probably about 8 9 years ago. Watching like episodes of Doomsday Preppers, and like like back then
Guilty as charged.
my family kind of thought that those people were kind of crazy. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, some of them were, but I was able to gather like a lot of ideas. And I never really thought about preparedness like that before. So I started started preparing, started having like extra food, water on hand, started canning. And I started this channel about, it should actually be almost like 2 years ago, or at least like a year and a half. Looking at topics regarding preparedness, I always kind of saw the same kinds of stuff, end of the world kind of thing, kind of doom and gloom type preparedness.
Right.
But I I I want to reach retirement. I don't necessarily want to go out like that, but
Right.
I just try to create a channel where I can explain how to integrate technology into my preps. So
Okay.
I guess to kind of answer the question of what is digital prepping, um, to be honest, I honestly thought about it a lot, and I kind of thought, I wonder if I should rename myself to the technical prepper, because what
Oh,
right? But
okay.
the technical prepper doesn't really roll off the tongue, as well as the digital prepper. But essentially, what I think digital preparedness is being able to integrate technology into your preparedness plans, and then kind of thinking a little more outside the normal realm of preparedness. Just thinking about the technology that kind of exists in our world today. So thinking about things like keeping your smartphone safe, because
Mhm.
nowadays smartphones are kind of like everyone's lives, for most people. For most people, if
Yeah.
you lose your phone, that's like, oh, that's the end of the world, the end of my life.
Yeah.
All my banking and stuff is there. So keeping things like that safe, keeping your like identity, keeping your personal information safe, and then kind of going on the other hand of digital preparedness, being able to use, like I said, technology with your preps. So you know saving certain files and such, like preparedness books, recipes, garden information, TV shows, movies, etc., for that morale. And how you can do that, like you can do that by having like extra hard drives and things of that
Right.
nature. I also talk about uh, like current events that are happening in the world regarding like cybersecurity and such. Um, and yeah, I mean, overall, I think digital preparedness is something that people should at least kind of want to look into, just because of the way that technology is progressing, uh
Mm.
like
Mhm.
in our society.
Yes, we're ever increasing technology state. Yes. So how can we? So you mentioned using technology in your preparedness. So what are some things that how we can get started doing some of these things, like um, personal on a personal level? So what can we do to get started there?
So, and that's a great question, just because of, like, just, thinking about technology. There's a lot of like older and younger people that kind of don't necessarily, like, some people aren't necessarily that tech savvy, and that's kind of what I want to teach. Want to be able to teach like old and new preppers, how to use technology in a way that everybody can understand. So,
Yeah.
to, kind of answer your question, like, what you can start off doing is, like I said, thinking about things like your privacy and your security. So, I actually have, like, a bunch of videos where I talk about, um, things like how to remove your information that some of these like data brokers, and for, people who don't know what data brokers are, when you go to like various websites and you see like the little message at the bottom of the screen telling you to like accept cookies, and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they kind of collect the data from you. They collect, like if you go to like Amazon or any other shopping website, they can like collect data from you. They can collect that shopping data and use that to, deliver like targeted ads to you, for example. Um,
Okay.
and, like, you can actually prevent that just by using, a different internet browser that prevents cookies from even showing up, like Brave or
Okay.
Tor. And, you can actually get those data brokers to remove your information in some circumstances. But, I mean, obviously they make it hard to do, right? Because
Yes.
they don't they really don't want to, um give you or delete your information. They want to sell it to, like, a lot of other people and make money off of it.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
Right. So I use Brave on my laptop.
Oh, nice.
Um, okay, so when I see there's up in the corner, it'll say something like 11 trackers have been I don't know what tracked. That's not what I want to say. 11 trackers have been tracked. But that's actually is that preventing something from being tracked?
Yeah, yeah. So like Brave will, like Brave browser, it like what you're probably seeing is all of the, and, it's crazy how, how many trackers can be on a particular website, right?
Right.
You
Right.
you look up at like that corner of the screen and you'll see, maybe like 50, 100, or, some
Oh, it's a
other
lot.
ridiculously high number. And, yeah, so that browser is actually preventing, those trackers from, like, collecting any data that you're using, or that, yeah, it's basically, preventing any data from being collected on those sites.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Like you mentioned, like a shopping site, or if I'm whatever, I'm browsing somewhere or whatever, it's just preventing that information from being collected.
Yep.
Okay. Is that the same as cookies? It's like, is it preventing cookies, or is that something different?
So, yes, and at the same time, cookies are honestly, kind of old school for a lot of, the advertisers that are trying to steal your data. Um,
Okay.
they're actually, using other trackers that are on those websites, but, obviously the browsers that, that we have been talking about, they're, still able to block those kinds of content.
Wow. Okay, interesting. So we talked about browsers. Um, do we need to worry about I know I was asking you earlier, like personally, do I need to worry about me personally being hacked? Like that's how we hear all this stuff about, oh, our electrical grid was hacked or there's this thing was hacked. Do we personally need to worry about me, the individual, being hacked?
Um, yes.
I know it's kind of a silly question, but I didn't know a better way to ask.
So what's crazy is that yeah, I've been doing kind of research on this. The incidents for identity theft, that
Okay.
actually has been going, up and up and up, like every year, right?
Right.
Um, and what's what's crazy is that you have all of these companies that they that have our information, like, for example, Amazon might have your name, your address, your banking information, stuff like that. And a lot of these places, they honestly don't pay a lot of money for cybersecurity. That's the crazy thing about it, right? And what what'll happen is that, let's say they get compromised. And normally how these larger companies get compromised is that either like an employee of that company will send data out, because they're, maybe like a disgruntled employee or something, and they just send data out, just because they're mad at the company or something, like they got fired or something like that. Or one of the big things is social engineering. And so social
Yeah.
engineering is essentially like, it it can be defined in different ways, but it's essentially tricking people in order to obtain information from them. So, like phishing, for
Mhm.
example. Phishing is a form of social engineering where,
Mhm.
uh, like a bad actor will send employees of a company an email telling them to like click on this link for whatever reason. And they, like
Right.
you email blast like hundreds of people in a company, at least one or two of them are gonna actually you know click on that link. And then when they do that, they steal their like usernames and passwords, and that's how those
Right.
bad actors can get into those companies and steal data. So
There's is this how like I remember seeing things like on Facebook or something like what Disney princess would you be? Take this quiz and you answer all these things, right? And
mhm.
then so you would answer like what I don't know. Oh my gosh, I can't remember any of the questions, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about, where they would answer different types of questions as to how you would react to this or what's your favorite color here and this kind of thing. And then they take all of that information. And in the end, it'd be like, oh, you would be Ariel or something. And
Right.
the social engineering that where they're actually gaining some data on you, either, I don't know, well, Facebook is called Meta now, but that or YouTube or any Instagram, any of these other things that you're doing, that is that one way of like getting information on you to tailor things for you?
It can. Those types of websites. I mean, obviously they have the trackers and stuff on their websites. Uh, Facebook or Meta, whatever you want to call it. They're pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't use Facebook. The most I use is obviously YouTube and Twitter. And I don't even like
Oh yeah.
really using Twitter that much either. But and what's bad is when you kind of have to utilize all of this technology in order to in order to do something. You have to put in your information for certain things. If you want to use
Mhm.
Amazon, you have to put in your address and all that kind of stuff. I know Reddit, there was actually a story that came out today saying that some bad actors breached, there was like a security breach for Reddit, and a lot of data was stolen from from Reddit, that company. Mostly like source code data and some other user data, but I don't know if like any personal information like usernames and passwords were stolen. But
Right.
and Reddit
Something
is
more
pretty
than
big. They're a pretty big
yeah,
company, and
yeah.
that's a security breach on them.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think that was yeah, this is one I had up earlier prepping with Sarge said I worked in healthcare. If we compromise your info, you get to sue the pants off the company. If our company compromises it, no recourse. Sorry. I should have picked a
Yeah.
different font. That font stinks. I was like, okay, we were talking about this earlier. What does that say? My description here.
Yeah, that's actually pretty bad. Yeah. And
Sorry.
I don't necessarily know if that's, if that's just because of like the HIPAA laws surrounding like healthcare stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, just like T-Mobile, like cell phone companies. T-Mobile has gotten, has had a huge data breach. I want to say like a year ago, and what's funny is that, and that was a big data breach. They actually got a lot of user information. They got
Wow.
you know addresses, first names, last names, passwords,
Ooh.
all kind of stuff, banking information. And what's nuts is the resolution from like T-Mobile is that they basically went, here's a free, maybe like 1 or 2 year subscription to like Life Alert or something like that.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, I mean, those companies like Life Alert and stuff, they are pretty legit. um
Yeah.
I
Yep.
don't I don't necessarily use them myself, but yeah, I mean, they're pretty legitimate. uh but it's just, it's like you had people steal my data, and this is all you're going to give me.
Right. Right. Oh, yeah. Here's prepping with Sarge says if they let consumers sue credit card and tech companies for breaches, the problem would get fixed real fast.
It really would,
It
because then
would.
they
Mhm.
they would be forced to to spend some of their hard-earned money in order
Mhm.
to actually put towards cybersecurity.
Yeah. You don't, and it's not just like email that you would get, like you were talking about phishing or anything like that.
Hmm.
You get it by text now. And there's like, I mean, I can't tell you how many unwanted text because people, you can sign up for text alerts for things, which I do. I have a few that I sign up for, like a prescription thing, or
Hmm.
if it's something that I just ordered and I wanted shipping updates, then I would get those. Well, something happened here recently and I had been ordering a lot. Maybe it must have been maybe Christmas time, but it said the text said we had a problem processing your order. Please, how to say, please click and update your shipping information or something. And I thought, well, that was odd, and um I I clicked and but it went to a site that looked very much like the USPS site that you would fill out for like tracking information. Like if you
Hmm.
entered in a tracking number,
Right.
it looked very much like that. And I thought this, but it didn't look right. It was like the postal service, I can't get my words out. They're not going to ask me to update my information. The company that I ordered from would ask me to update my information. And this is where I thought, boy, if you're not paying attention and and you're been ordering a lot of stuff and you're just like, oh, let me do this. You could quickly, if I had entered in my information, I don't know where it would have gone.
Right.
I couldn't track that one, but I did point it out. My husband works for the postal service. I was telling you earlier, so I did
Hmm.
point that out to him. I was like, "Hey."
Yeah, my wife
So,
actually, yeah, because she'll like my excuse me, my wife will like, hold her phone to my face and go, "Hey, I got this text message," and it'll be like a text message talking about, "Hey, your bill, your T-Mobile bill is
yes.
$500 or whatever. Click here to pay now." And it's like, we don't have T-Mobile.
I know, right? The best one best ones are my youngest daughter at the time. She was getting these messages. She had just gotten a phone. And she was 16. She had just gotten a phone, and then shortly after we had activated all these numbers, and I think everybody got new phones at that point, but she activated her number. Shortly after that, she started getting the Rachel from the insurance company calling her about her warranty on her car. And she would have fun with this. This Rachel kept calling her periodically, and she would have fun with her, and she'd say, "Oh, Rachel, hey, I've missed you. What you been doing?" So anyway, she was having fun with her, but that's just interesting because it was her first phone number, her first cell phone number, and she's automatically getting these calls about her car warranty, which she doesn't have.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, those are those kinds of things. If you're not paying attention, PayPal used to be bad with that too. They would say, "Oh, your invoice is unpaid" or something. I'm like, I haven't ordered anything.
Or like, I don't even have a PayPal.
Right. Well, I don't anymore. But at the time, I was like, I haven't ordered anything, and I'm like, there isn't hardly any money in there anyway. So
right. And it's
gosh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just looking at what Sarge had when I made a comment. A lot of those scams are coming from within the prisons. I didn't know that.
I actually haven't heard that either. Because I know a lot of them. They're if you look up like scam baiting on YouTube, a lot of the a lot of the scam baiting channels, it's mostly like either India or like Nigeria that are doing a lot of these scams, but they also have figured out that those people will successfully get people in the US to like launder their money, right?
Oh, right.
And they call them I believe money mules, and
okay.
it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, wow. How so wait, you know what? Already it's like 22 minutes in, and I'm like, I wanted to say hello to people that were here. It's a water break. Go to take a drink of water, y'all. And I want to say hello to some friends here. I see some new faces, and I see some friendly faces that are here all the time. Nate, hello. Uncle Al is in the chat. Thank you guys for being moderators tonight. Broken Neck, hello, welcome. Oh, let's see. And of course, the digital prepper. And USMC 935. I hope you're still here. It's been a while since I actually saw you scroll by. And then we have Inventory Wolf, and he says, how, or she, I don't know, Inventory Wolf. I shouldn't assume, right?
Actually, funny enough, Inventory Wolf actually is a that I believe that person also has a great inventory application. I actually have a video on it on my channel. It's a great inventory application that you can have on your phone. Has like really like no crazy permissions or anything like that. And it allows you to have like a lot of inventory. For like for all the food preppers out there that need help with organizing their stuff.
Yes, organizers out there, everybody write down Inventory Wolf. And you said you had a video talking about it on your channel?
It's if you look up like inventory, I know it comes up.
Okay, now that is awesome. Everybody go check that out. Bougie Prepper, hello. The Biggs Homestead. I know some of these people are probably gonna be hopping in and off because it's Friday night, and I'm like I said, I'm normally not on Fridays, but I thank y'all for being here anyway. Nene's Prepping Kitchen, and let's see, Prepping with Sarge. If I haven't already said that already, hello, thank you. Double D Homestead, hey Dawn. Let's see, Patriot Prepper, DAB, hello. Oh, let's see. Who else is here? I'm so thankful everybody's here tonight. We have Tofu. I love this. Hello, Tofu. I love Tofu.
Nice to see you
Okay.
all.
I know, right? Nice to see you all. And let's see, do we have anybody else? I thought I saw Cold War Prepper was in the house too.
Yep, he's somewhere.
Yep. He's somewhere. Yep. Howdy from, here we go. Howdy from Central Texas. Hey, y'all. All right. And I think that's everybody. Am I down to the bottom? Oh, Inventory Wolf blushes. Yeah, we appreciate you being here. And Tofu says that's exciting. Thanks for sharing the organization goodness. I love that. So speaking of organization, what are some things as far as using technology to help us organize? We just
Mhm.
learned about Inventory Wolf, but are there some other things that we can think about using to help us in our preparedness?
Yeah, actually, because that honestly, kind of reminded me because I was looking at that and I was like, yeah, and see, this is kind of what I wanted to, kind of talk about with using technology to
Mhm.
help, help prepare. And yeah, when I was doing like research for that particular video on it's like I want to say it's like different ways to organize your preps, right?
Yeah.
And it was a nice thing to kind of look up because I personally don't necessarily want to keep things in like a little binder or something like that.
I have one of those.
Right. And so there were like five different inventory applications that I had. One of them was Inventory Wolf, obviously. One of them was the Ultimate Prep System from the Prepper Nerd, who I believe is also on YouTube. I don't know if anyone here has heard of that.
I
Um,
have.
nice. um and like that one came with like subscription. It wasn't yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad looking. It was actually pretty good. And the it was one guy, making it by himself. It was pretty nice for people that own like Apple devices. It was also like Pantry Check.
Oh
um
yeah.
yeah, and that one,
Yep.
is kind of mostly like online based. There was also Grocy, like Grocy.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And
Okay.
that one's like, a little bit more of a kind of like it's a little more of a technical little program. I tried using it and I kind of fell back on Inventory Wolf just because, it was kind of like just ease of use, right? Um
Yeah, I'm all about that.
and it really just kind of helped to like the point to these kinds of applications is to make your life easier and to stay prepared, obviously.
Mhm.
um
Mhm.
and you can have that type of stuff on your phone. You can have it, you can have these kinds of applications on your phone, on your laptop or computer or whatever. Or if you're kind of old school, you could just do it with like an Excel spreadsheet or something and print it out.
That's kind of where I got started, but if there's something out there that's kind of I don't know, more exciting or more I don't know. I want to say user friendly, but like
Hmm.
spreadsheets are supposed to be user friendly, but sometimes you just like if I have to create it from nothing, give me something that can I just fill in the blank, that would be great.
That was honestly the inspiration for that particular video because like it was it's been a while. And I went downstairs to where I have all my like food stores and stuff. And I noticed, I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I don't know what's here, and I don't know, like what's gonna be expiring soon, etc. And I'm like, I need to get this organized.
or is it me? Happen.
Oh, there you go.
Are we back?
I think so.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm looking at my phone of the live stream, and I saw it freeze up, so I'm like, "Oh crap. Oh no." I hope y'all still with us, okay? I remember okay, so you said that was the inspiration for ease of use was the inspiration for that, and then after that
Yep.
I didn't hear any more. So did you
Oh,
say anything after that?
yeah. It was basically just I had preps that I haven't looked at in a while, and I was kind of like I need to kind of get back to organizing this stuff.
Yeah.
But I also didn't want to use pen and paper, so.
Oh gosh, I know. You know, I started doing that just and then so you're like it's like, no. But yeah, anything that would help you kind of stay a little more organized. And then you can so we've got the organization. What about like backing up or saving things? Like can we like saving documents
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
that kind of thing?
that's like one of the other ones that I I fully recommend people do, because I know a lot of people I know a lot of people have, like they have paper documents. They have birth certificates, driver's licenses, all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
right.
Um and they have that in physical form, paper form. But
Mhm.
I actually, because uh I was kind of like asked by this company called IOSafe to review one of their NAS devices. Excuse me. And
That's okay.
for anyone who doesn't know what a NAS is, NAS, that stands for network attached storage. And I mean, just think about it as like a little box with like a few hard drives in it that
Oh, okay.
it just kind of backs up your data on your network. It's not like it's not internet facing, so it's not like bad actors are going to get into your computer or something and steal all that data, unless unless you downloaded something fishy.
Oh, okay.
um but yeah, like I had a video on that, and I was basically talking about how um we all should have at least like one of those devices. We all should try to have our physical documents, like scan them, have it on one of these devices, because anything can happen with with something physical, as well as obviously the digital stuff. That stuff's not perfect either. But redundancy is also a huge aspect of preparedness. So if you
Yeah.
have if you have your birth certificate both on this NAS device and
Mhm.
in your hand, now
Right.
you have two things that you can kind of fall back on if one of them gets destroyed or whatever.
Right. So yeah, so not keeping just like you don't keep everything all in one spot, your
Hmm.
preps or maybe you have some, in your basement, you have some upstairs or you have some in a bunker. I don't know. But just those things like you might have a papers in a fireproof safe versus and then you have something on digital. We do the same thing with photos.
Yep.
I have up photos into the cloud, but we also actually I have an external hard drive that I just like dump a lot of photos on, and it's just for that.
Yep.
Um, and I'm not even sure does anybody even print photos anymore because
I highly
sometimes
doubt
I
it.
see that they're on my phone or they're on my computer, and I'm just like, well, what are we gonna, I'm not putting them in photo albums or anything. So I'm like, is anybody doing that anymore?
I know my folks still like print out photos, and they have like 60 photo albums filled with like photos and stuff. But funny enough, all of that stuff is it's been printed out, so it's all still digital too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just in case.
Well, right. I mean, you're thinking of protecting those important documents um your marriage documents or somebody said one time I just now thought of this. They said take a picture of your family, all of you together, and put that in a safe spot.
Hmm.
And then you can in a certain situations because like they say you never know, um then you've got a picture of your whole family, like, yes, these kids are mine. Yes, this is my husband, this is my wife, or whatever,
Hmm.
whatever your family makeup is. And this kind of proves that you're all together and they
Yep.
belong to you. Because, like, I don't know, someone might try to say that you're not that kid's mom or something because they look different. I mean, I don't know. But I thought that was a good idea to have an actual recent photo of all of your every like individual of your family, like each individual member, and then something that's fairly current, and then a family photo.
Huh.
And I thought that was interesting to add to the important files that you can maybe put something together. Because I guess if you'd have to ID someone, like, if someone's gone missing, like okay, let's talk about like the earthquake that happened over in Turkey, some big disaster, and people are looking, everyone's displaced and they start trying to look for each other. If you have something, hopefully, that you could refer to and say, here, this is my daughter, or this is my husband, this is, you've got something current.
Yep, exactly. And what's kind of cool about these kinds of devices, like you mentioned that you had oh Double D Homestead still prints photos.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yay.
But one of the things, because you had mentioned that you have a portable hard drive, and
Mhm.
all, like a portable hard drive, a NAS device, all you would need is, let's say, like for example, and this is kind of more, a little more like my area of what I was kind of kind of like preparing for, I guess. Not necessarily
Mhm.
preparing for, but I'll just explain it. So, like,
Okay.
for like a prolonged, like, power outage, or, like, something like that, I know people, um morale is one of the,
Right. Right.
it's a big thing, like, mental health, all that kinda stuff, right?
Yes, yes.
And so, um, I don't know if you've ever read or saw The Martian,
Yes.
and
I love
so
that movie, sorry.
so like like I read the whole book, and like the guy, the main character there, uh they had a, what do you call it, they had like a flash drive just full of like old TV shows and movies,
Right,
which is
right.
cool because like all you need, like I have like a little solar generator, or and you can plug like a laptop or something in. It doesn't cost like that much power or anything. And that's
Right.
something that's also, in the realm of digital preparedness. Like you can store, like movies, or, I mean, even games if you want to, and have that just in case, of something like that.
Yeah. In fact, we still have a laptop that has a CD drive in it, and I think we might be able to play movies on that if we were just to use that laptop just for that only.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's a good idea. And then can you download? Well, I don't know if you can actually download shows, but I suppose you could purchase them.
I mean, you can
Purchase like
you can purchase them. You can also, and the none of what I'm about to say is, I don't recommend it. I don't, I I don't recommend it, wink wink. But I mean, you can also like record certain stuff.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yep, yep, you could.
Like
And
there's
that would
there's,
be,
there's lots of programs that will allow you
right.
to record things.
Yes, that's something that's good too. Yeah. So, I just saw something here and I want to get it before I miss it.
Hmm.
This is probably deviating a little bit, but what are your thoughts on crypto? Is that something that we can address, or is that we might need to save it for another show? Or
No, I
I'm
saw
not,
that
I don't know much about crypto, so go ahead.
one. I saw that question. I was gonna come back to it.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, right now, so look, if you can, I mean, if you wanna like, throw like 1 or 200 bucks or something like that into, getting like some Bitcoin or something like that. Um, Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad like idea. It's just like the what do you call it? It's just like the idea of buying like gold and silver. Only, in this case, it's digital currency. So I now if you're buying that, if you're buying like crypto to like invest in it, I'm not a financial advisor. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. But again, it's just another thing that you can have, um you know that you can have, and they have applications like on your phone, or they have like the
Oh wow.
ledger,
Hmm.
um that it's just like a USB stick that kind of holds
Oh,
like
okay.
the codes that you need to unlock your like crypto safe, essentially. And you can have that stuff to basically protect your cryptocurrency. So
Wow.
overall, I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I used to like be involved with this program that allowed me to kind of like quote unquote farm for crypto. So
Oh,
I
okay.
had like $100 or $200 in like cryptocurrency that I have just stored just for like a
Okay.
rainy day or whatever.
Okay.
Because you can actually use that stuff for a lot. Like I know, I mean, if you want to, I know Starbucks actually can use crypto to buy you a coffee or something like that.
Really? So like if you have like a on your phone, would it be in a type of wallet type of thing or through
Yeah,
an app and you just
exactly.
pay? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like one of those
Kind
like
of like
wallet apps.
yeah. Yeah, I don't store too much in there, but I do have some apps that I um have like little barcodes that you can scan to keep
Hmm.
track of points, rewards points and stuff like that.
Yep.
So yeah, that's cool. So what time? Okay, so there was something that so like we're talking like sometimes I hear people, we all get frustrated with technology because some people love it or hate it. But in the way things are going now, I know we're talking about like AI and all this stuff is coming down the pike and all that.
Hmm.
Um sh- are we going to be able to use technology really like are we going to be all technology or should we just like dump it and just go because of privacy or whatever, just dump it and just go like, paper, coin, pen and paper type of thing, is that really practical to be able to even do that to like go completely off grid or
See,
no, this is I don't know, I'm just trying to
that's a
thinking, I guess.
that's kind of a hard question to kind of answer, right?
Well, yeah, yeah.
Just because, like,
Just get us talking about it.
right. Oh, Sarge is leaving. Bye, Sarge.
Bye, Sarge. Thanks for coming by.
So to kind of answer, it's it's really weird, right? So obviously, some people just some people live different lives, right?
Right.
In the
Mhm.
United States, at least, for anybody who's here in the U.S., um, they a lot of people are connected. We're all connected to that technology. We use mobile banking, for example. We use
Right.
online stuff to pay our bills. There are
Mhm.
some people that they actually do either pay with cash for everything, or like write checks or stuff. And still mail checks and all that kind of stuff. Um,
Mhm.
but it's just hard. I actually have made like a video documenting how to like, I guess, delete yourself from the internet.
I did, yes, I remember seeing that, like, how to, like, trying to delete your info the right way or
Yeah,
something, or yeah,
exactly. And
okay.
like, if you're deleting yourself from the internet is like wildly impractical for most people, because like, for example, a lot of people, we need like just an email address just to kind of
Right,
exist within our society. um
right, right.
and it's if you are 100% ready to, just remove yourself from the internet, um, that is something that you should, kind of like discuss with friends and family.
Yeah.
Um, just in case.
Yep.
Uh, I mean, obviously there's a lot of people that live like off grid. I'm not one of them. I will say
Well,
that much.
well, no, yeah, I mean, I love the idea, um, of being off grid, but
Hmm.
that's almost isolation at that point
I mean, it
because
can be for
everything that,
some
you know,
people,
you're
right?
yeah, yeah,
And so,
yeah, like, oops, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like with that being said, there are a lot of steps that you can take if you're not, if you're not necessarily ready to go fully off grid. There's a lot of steps that you can take to keep the amount of data about yourself online to a minimum, right? Um,
Right,
and if you use those tips and tricks, you can at least lower the amount of information that is on the internet about yourself.
right, right. I like that because that's more practical. Is your, I believe, and I think I even commented on one of your recent videos. It's like I think our technology is a tool that should serve us, to help us maybe the ease of doing a job or, I love the calendar function on here and that kind of thing. Being able to, I got 5 calendars for my household that I need to like try to keep track of and manage because everyone's going every which way.
Hmm.
But I think it should be. I mean, we can become a slave to it, if we allow it to be. But I think we
Yep.
should, we could allow it to, have its place.
Yep. Because even even if you are like off grid, you can still utilize technology with your preps. It just wouldn't be necessarily anything like online if you want to go that route.
Right, you're kind of disconnected, but you're still disconnected from, I don't know, from the world. But you're but you're still using technology in your home,
Right.
to manage. I mean, I just even now, like, I don't know if there is the only reason we have a landline, is for a security system. Um,
Oh, nice.
and other than that, we use our cell phones for everything. Just because I am mobile, that's the best way to reach me.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, I still have an answering machine at home, but it's that I forgot what it was. Oh, it's Uma, and so it's like voice over IP. Is that right?
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was
Voice over
like,
internet. Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, so it's an Uma system. Like that was like $5 a month. I think it's still five. I don't know. I haven't. I was like, are we grandfathered into something? But that's our answering machine. We still have a landline, but that's for our security system, so it'll dial out if something like the fire alarm goes off or something.
And that's
So
good, because
yeah.
like, having that landline is good just because I mean, we had when we had purchased our home, we couldn't even get a landline installed.
Oh,
Well, we just it was either voice over IP, voice over internet, or don't have a phone. So I'm like,
oh.
we all have cell phones anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well, that's the thing. So I noticed that people, that's like this is everything. Their whole lives are on their cell phones.
Hmm.
Like you said earlier, and I can't. I did leave. There was one time I actually left my phone at home and it wasn't on purpose. I just forgot I was charging it and I left the
Hmm.
house without it. And you're going down. I'm like, oh no, I don't have my phone. And I was like, you have survived for how many years without
Hmm.
having a cell phone, and I'm like, I will survive. And so I
Yep.
just went on, just went on my day. But it's amazing how many how has anybody in the chat, or if you're watching the playback, have you ever just left your phone and gone about your whole day
Without it.
without, like, going out away from home without your phone,
Yep.
and then see how you feel, how you operate. But for me, I have so much of those. If y'all watch my videos, I have a lot of those shopping savings apps. And so I need to have that with me
Hmm.
so I can have my ID and my pickups and all that stuff. So that's I'm probably a slave to that, but but that's I need that QR code. And that's sad because you see those um what are the Amazon has those stores where you have that special QR code
Hmm.
and you scan it and it lets you in or whatever, and then you can do your shopping. And then I guess you scan on your way out. I haven't actually seen the whole thing, but it's those, that's kind of where things are going. Since everybody has a phone, you just scan it and it'll have all your information. You can pay with it.
Yep.
There's Apple Pay, I know. You could pay with it and then walk out. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Hmm.
Maybe, that's I don't know if I want to go that route, but and
And
it's supposed to be easy because Amazon even has that Palm thing. They have a I forget what they call it, not Apple Pay, Amazon Pay, I
mhm.
think is what it's called. And then I think it's out in Washington State, but you just pay with your Palm.
Yeah.
And the way they advertised it was to, the mom's carrying, a baby and she has a purse or she has all these other things and she can just, show her Palm. And that's pretty, no bio markers for me if I
Yeah.
cannot
See,
do that.
exactly. And that that's like a lot of the stuff that like I when that technology becomes more mainstream, like I want to uh like kind of cover that, because like
Yeah.
even I was just looking at some of the chat here, just like kind of how WD Homestead had mentioned, the company that hubby works for won't hire anyone that doesn't have a Facebook page. i
Yep.
I highly disagree with that is that's
Yep.
kind of
I do too.
awful. Like I don't have a
I
Facebook.
Right, and I don't know why they would really want that because Facebook is not if they want something about you, look at your LinkedIn profile. That's usually something that would be a little more resume
Hmm.
oriented and they can find out about you there, but they don't need your
Yeah.
Facebook profile. I'm not friends with people. Well, when I was working, I wasn't friends with people that I was working with. Only connections that I had to certain things had my personal Facebook profile. Otherwise, they had my business page. Like you can connect with me there, but
Yep.
you're not getting in my circle. That's yeah,
But yeah, like and that's the kind of stuff that like I want to like it's half and half, right? Like I kind of I
yeah,
want to teach whoever it is that maybe wants to utilize this new technology, and just teach them about it. Let them know all the ins and outs, the good and bad about it. For anybody who's either for or against it, just because I mean it's not like it's going away. It's gonna continue to
exactly.
evolve
Mhm.
and evolve, and like we kind of
Yeah,
mentioned, unless you're
yeah,
just gonna kind of drop off grid, which for a lot of people it's not viable for. You're gonna
no,
have to just start. You're gonna have to start living with the technology, or finding ways to finding alternative ways to deal with the technology. Like kind of how like how we mentioned, you can have a cell phone, or you could you could choose to leave it at home, or you can pay your bills with cash and checks and stuff. You can still do that, and knock on wood that they that they don't change that.
well, it's I did just interesting because you just reminded me. I remember I used to be able to go to the power company, the actual office,
Hmm.
and I could pay a bill. I could walk in and pay a bill with cash or write a check or use a credit card.
Hmm.
But I'm actually thinking now that I'm not sure if they have their office because basically they scaled everything down to like a window
Hmm.
and that was it. And I'm wondering if they're actually going to go paperless and do everything just electronically.
Yep.
And I'm not, because if they don't, if they can just like shut you on and off from their office, like,
Hmm.
they don't even have to come to your house anymore, they can just shut you on and off from the office. I imagine that you could just, you can either bill pay, which is usually what we do. We set our power bill up for bill pay, and then I think everything is really just starting to go electronic, where everything is just online. There aren't going to be actual, or it'll be a virtual office maybe.
Right. And even
Yeah.
like because I will say I'm in the Midwest, and
Okay.
this popular uh there's this popular restaurant chain. If anyone can guess it, they get a cookie. um there's this popular restaurant chain that has they went fully no cash. So they don't accept cash anymore. They only accept credit card. And it's like, why? And they say, it's for ease of like for like more ease of use. It'll make the lines go faster, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. And I mean, that kind of stuff, it does collect data on you. I mean, there's physical
That's true.
data of
Mhm.
where you inserted your credit card, or swiped your credit card at. And they, the credit card companies, they sell that information to advertisers.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me. I didn't by the way, I did not. If any of y'all picked out what the restaurant was, you can drop it in the comments. Guys, I have no idea. I'm guessing, but is it strictly in the Midwest, or is it something that would be out on the East Coast?
uh, uh
You think it's strictly Midwest?
yeah, strict, yeah. Well, actually, I'm not
Oh,
100
well,
percent sure. But it's in the
okay,
Midwest.
well then I'm clueless. Phew. Um, but it reminds me, you're just talking about credit cards. I saw something the other day about the carbon credit card that I think MasterCard, I didn't even know they were still in around. But I think MasterCard, at least that's the two little circle logo that I saw on there, and it looked black, but it's not the actual, like, the card is made of carbon. It tracks your purchases to track your carbon footprint. And so it's voluntary. So you could just, I'm sure there are people that have signed up and gotten it already, but as you track, it tracks your purchases, like you said, where you swipe, what you buy, and then it would give you a rundown of what your carbon footprint would be. So I don't know what that would measure, what it would track, like gas maybe, or if you're buying fertilizer for your chicken or for your garden or
I mean, it
chicken
can,
feed for your chicken.
that, and like all that information, you could, not necessarily like yourself, but like the companies, they can get like what do you call it? They can get like location information and such from that too.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Broken Neck got it.
Yes.
Portillo's.
Oh, really? Oh! Yay! I've never heard of that. Is it a burger place or
Yeah, it's like a it's like a little like hot dog fast food type place.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And what's funny is that
Wow.
there's still long lines.
Oh. You know that, when they first came out with debit cards, I don't know if I'm dating myself or not, but I remember the first commercials with the ease of debit cards before, that you could have pay automatic. Everybody was starting to switch over to, everything, the Visa check card. I think that was what the big thing was. And they were talking like what you just said. It was the ease, the quick lines, and you could just pay and go. And then they showed someone behind the people, like the line was going and they were using the card, and then all of a sudden this person comes up and uses cash, and it just holds everybody up and they're staring at the person that's using cash, and they're like, you know anyway, that just, I don't know if I just dated myself there, but that goes a ways back.
Yeah, yeah.
um Darcy Allen, hello. And she says, it scares me that many places are going paperless. I've worked at a few places where chaos happened because the credit card system went down.
Yep. And that, and it'll it'll break everything. You can't pay for anything. Um
Yeah.
and that's actually, speaking of that,
Uh-oh.
kind of like going over to kind of another topic. That's something that is kind of concerning. When you think about, what do you call it? When you think about, um, I should know this. I did a video on it. um, uh, uh, cybersecurity in critical infrastructure. There we go.
Oh,
That was the phrase I was looking for. Um,
okay.
because the like the critical infrastructure. I don't know, if you've seen stuff happen like the Colonial Pipeline that
Yeah.
shut down like a couple years
Mhm.
ago.
Yep.
People were freaking out. They were trying to buy all the gas because they didn't know if gas was going to be a thing ever again. um, it
Yep.
and these bad actors, they and this is big, right? This is
Yeah.
more of kind of like a more global thing that I always kind of take a look at because you had like the Colonial Pipeline, you had the attack on the Florida water treatment facility
Oh,
where,
yeah.
that could have that could have been bad because they
Yeah.
were like raising levels of like lye in the drinking water. And luckily somebody was there to hit the button to shut that off.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh,
And it's just it's just even like our own government, right? We're not putting any money toward stronger cybersecurity, and that's
yeah.
something that should be that's something that should definitely be addressed because as the technology gets better and better, I've seen, like
Mhm.
I've been, like at a courthouse, and you look at like the computers that they're using, they're still using like Windows 95.
I know. Thought it was just our because like we're like way behind times out here sometimes, but okay.
And it's like I we're not. Why like you guys can't spend some money
Right.
to upgrade that technology so that somebody can't just easily go bep, 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 and shut down like an entire oil pipeline or water treatment facility or all that kind of stuff. And that
Yeah.
and that stuff's global too, like the water attacks. uh that's not only have happened here in the United States, that actually has happened um in the United Kingdom as well. There was an attack like recently on a
Oh
water
my
treatment
goodness.
facility out there.
Oh wow. That one I didn't hear about.
Yep.
Wow.
And it's just it's crazy because that also all that kind of stuff can affect the supply chain, which I know people
Yep.
are kind of we love throwing that word around, the supply chain.
Right. Right.
But
Oh my goodness.
it's just stuff to kind of think about. And you got to think about making sure that you're prepared, obviously, for these kinds of attacks because they can
Yep.
happen from another country with some person sitting at a computer hitting a button.
Yeah, that's just amazing how like how connected everything is. It's
Hmm.
we you have to think locally, but you also have to think globally
Yep.
and how it'll affect you on different levels. Um, protecting your I mean, yeah, we're all about protecting our information and things, but
Hmm.
I do like the focus on using technology though to help you in preparedness. And so I appreciate that you want to teach, people or help people to get thinking about we have these tools. It's not just for internet or it's not just for whatever, we can use these things that we have, our phones, our laptops or tablets, whatever, to or apps, I should say,
Hmm.
um, to help us, to, organize our information or back it up.
Yep.
Um, and we can still use it. I guess the only time we'd have to really be worried about it is if something happens like an EMP or something, that could like throw us all out, to, that kind of thing. I don't know. I've always wondered like what exactly, even if I had something, um, my husband had oh gosh, what'd he get? He got something for his phone, like a Faraday bag or something to put his phone in.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
and I
about.
thought, is that even gonna, I'm like, what is it gonna even if the phone is protected, is like, can you even use it after an
Yeah.
EMP? Because
I mean,
okay,
you would be able to use it afterwards. It would just be more of yeah. I mean, you might not be able to, like call people or whatever, depending on what
right.
happens.
But
I
if you have something like your photos or your some kind of a document stored on your
hmm
phone, you'd
hmm
still be able to use it
Yep,
if it's protected, right?
yep. Like I
Okay.
actually I have I talked about EMPs on my channel before. Take a look at that if you haven't already, guys.
I
um
haven't, yeah, because I I searched through there and I was trying to find video. You recommended all the ones about what was it? It was Inventory Wolf
mhm.
and let's see, it was Inventory Wolf, and then about how to delete yourself or delete your info.
Yeah, how
I'll
to
just put
delete
that.
yourself.
Delete. Sometimes, I just want to disappear.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. You did you do a video about the NAS device, the NAS device too?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
because I wrote these down to try to remind everybody to go check those out. And then this one, is there EMP somewhere in the title?
Yeah, yeah.
Video.
And like, and I'll kind of like sum it up, but basically um there yes, EMPs do exist, and there's obviously there's two types. There's one that comes from like solar winds from the sun, all that kind of stuff, and then
Yeah.
obviously
Yes.
there's one from big explodey type weapons.
Like
um
balloons to the sky. Okay.
um and depending on what you're looking at, it really does depend on a lot of factors. Like there's not necessarily gonna be like a whole boom and the entire
Right.
world gets sent back to the dark ages or something like that. I would
Right.
really hope not.
Right. Oh my gosh.
and even
I'll be
and
in
even
trouble.
if that were to happen, a lot of devices honestly would probably be okay. Some would be affected and some would not be affected, and it's just it's kind of luck, like
Yeah.
depending on like where you are, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Also,
Right.
non-exploding dedicated EMP devices.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Darcy keeps talking about I remember an airport, I think in Paris, crashed from a Windows 3 system failure only like 7 or so years ago. Oh my gosh.
Man, Windows 3.
That's just
I don't even
not
know what
cool
that
to
is.
have Windows 3. What is that like the
Jeez,
very oh my gosh.
that has
That
to be
looked like
old.
she said, yeah, she said earlier that the front desk of the courthouse is when she got married a couple years ago. She said it had an Apple computer that looked straight out of 1985.
Yep.
Like yikes. Oh my
That
gosh.
that 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 kind of stuff is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Also non-explodey dedicated, right? EMP device. Oh, I picked an awful font. I did not pay attention to this. This is awful. I can't see it. Hopefully it shows up better on the live stream. Ugh. Sorry, y'all.
Looks good on my end.
Oh, good. All right. Yay. So all right, so anyway, we have been a little over an hour and I know people are wanting to get on with their evening. So where can people find you? I know we can find you on YouTube, but
hmm
where else did you say there was anywhere else that we could find you?
I am also on Twitter. That's about the only
Okay.
other place that I'm at. It's at the digital prep.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
I can find
I
you.
will.
Is it
There we
just
go.
at when you're on Twitter at oh there you go. That's
Yep,
it.
that is it.
Okay.
And that
All right.
that's pretty much where I am.
Oh, are you okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, for me, I'm usually on Instagram or YouTube. So um and then Instagram's probably a data collector, so I
I mean, they are
probably
owned
should
by
not.
they are owned by Meta.
I know. Oh gosh, but yeah, and then are you on any of some of these other what do I want to say? Like encrypted apps like Telegram or what was the
Uh,
other one? There was another one starts with an S. I can't remember
Signal.
what it is. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think I think you're talking about Signal.
Signal, that was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's Signal, there's Telegram, and then there's the one that I use, which I mean it's more kind of like a messaging application rather
Oh
than
yeah.
like kind of like a group messaging application. It's called Simple X Chat.
I have heard of this. Okay. I need to look into that. What do you think
Yeah.
about that? Simple X chat.
Oh, it's pretty good. I've used it. I actually have talked with the developer of it as
Ooh.
well.
Okay.
And I mean, if if you guys want to take a look, I have a video explaining exactly what it is and why it's actually probably better than the other secure messaging applications that are out there.
Yeah. I've heard this. I need to check it out. I'm on
Because like
Telegram a lot.
Yeah, because like for example, like Telegram actually does um like take not take, but it does like need your phone number. Like
Yeah.
you gotta put in your phone number for that. And it's like, wait, how can you be secure if I'm giving you my phone number?
I know. And I was like, so now I'm like, now I gotta try get something else because I built up a little bit of a following on Telegram. And I'm like, oh, great, now I gotta find something else because yeah, every time I think I found something good, I'm like, great. So well great. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And thank you
I
to everyone
appreciate it.
in the chat for being engaging. And we didn't have too many questions, but everybody was engaging with each other, which I like. So, but anyway, we will make sure y'all go subscribe to the Digital Prepper and check him out on Twitter if you're there. And I guess we will catch you in the next video. Y'all take care and have a great weekend.
Thank you for
Bye.
having me on. Bye, guys.
Yes, you're welcome. Bye, everybody.